You believed that the love triangle between Easy the Block Captain and Remy Ma Papoose was messy, ladies and gentlemen. We've only touched the surface, darling. Because it's difficult to determine who crushed Papoose's heart in a storyline twist that has the internet in ruins. Fat Joe is here. Yes, you heard correctly. America's unbeaten boxing champion and unintentional tease leaker, Claressa Shields, has unloaded a bomb so vicious it might cause the Bronx to fall apart. Claressa is said to have captured something so unsettling, so personal, and so downright. After a private training session, she went directly to Papoose, which was impolite. To put it mildly, he did not take it well. We're discussing broken. According to insiders, there was a screaming match so loud that neighbors contacted the police, believing it to be a house invasion. There was also glass, ripped wedding pictures, and a cancelled collaborative album. From fight bars to bedroom treachery, how did Remy Ma get there? Why does Fat Joe sneak into hotel rooms and chat romantically to a married woman? Furthermore, why is it that Claressa is the one revealing this unholy triangle? Hold on tight, for it's not a romantic tale. Someone is about to lose their mind since it's a full-fledged exposé. Keep an eye out, things are going to get messy. Let's get right to the point. Once more, the rap scene is in complete disarray. However, this time it's not due to a diss track, a cancelled bruise, or a viral mugshot of someone. No, it's personal. This time. In-depth individual. Because Papoose and Remy Ma, who for years were the epitome of hip-hop and true love, are now at the center of what may be the most heinous treachery in the history of rap relationships. And the house wrecker in the background, Fat Joe, the longtime captain of the terror squad, the man who once sobbed on the so-called brother figure stage while presenting Remy as a member of the family. But you know what? Claressa Shields claimed that he wasn't behaving like family in private. How did a world champion boxer get involved in all of this, you ask? Let's rewind the tape. Then rumors had been circulating for months. Whispers about Remy being away from home too often. Whispers on her meetings with her mentor Claressa is becoming more involved in late-night meetings. Rumors that the captain of Easy the Block was really a convenient distraction and a ruse, with gold chains and a faded beard. The real affair was concealed beneath the curtains. Then came the night of the battle. The powder keg exploded at that moment. In the midst of her greatest public triumph since turning pro, Claressa Shields immediately looked into the VIP area and noticed something that caused her jaw to tighten. Not a Remy clap. Papoose's proud grin was absent. Noted as if they were two kids exchanging secrets in detention, she watched Remy Ma placing her hand on Fat Joe's thigh and whispering into his ear to exacerbate the situation. Fat Joe gave her a wink. Take a moment to process that. The same obese Joe who says he is loyal to everything, after 20 years of shouting aloud from rooftops, he was suddenly playing footsie with Remy Malik. The man she was married to was supported her during her 7-year prison term. What followed was a scene from a movie. References according to Backstage, Claressa initially remained silent. She froze and gazed at the ring floor for a long moment before walking right by the press crew. The Papoose was waiting to congratulate her as she entered her locker room after passing the trophy table. But there was stillness rather than joy. I need to tell you something about Remy, and it's going to hurt, Claressa said, shutting the door behind her and sitting down. Boom. One of Claressa's close colleagues said she didn't mince words. She informed Papoose everything. The things she's seen, suspected, and even heard during the most recent training session when Remy unintentionally left her phone on speaker. You guys are having a complete meltdown, screaming, crying, and punching the locker door when I say that Papoose lost it. He even tore off Remy's gold chain, put it in the trash after giving it to him on their anniversary. Before he could do something that would put him in a cell, security had to lead him outside. This is when it becomes even more bizarre. Because Papoose goes live on Instagram a few minutes after storming out. Not to cry or rant, but to make a mysterious message that sent supporters into a tailspin. It's not always strangers who betray you. People that sat at your table and then sneaked out the back are the source of it. Door. The remarks were overwhelming. Is he referring to Remy? Hold on, is this about Joe Fat? The receipts must have started coming in after Claressa said something to him. A fan shared a hazy Remy and Joe were seen leaning in and caressing under the table in a picture from the VIP area. Records of another posted hotel reservation purportedly demonstrating days before the fight, Fat Joe and Remy used aliases to check into the same penthouse suite, but their flight logs showed the same timestamp. Next, the voicemails were leaked. Yes. A 16-second voice message purportedly made to Fat Joe from Remy's phone in which she states, "I can't, it's more difficult to lie when we're together, so keep acting like this doesn't mean anything. He doesn't merit this. But my feelings are uncontrollable." And the distinct tone of Fat Joe's voice on the other end, "You're not alone in this, I told you. I always got you." That's not the case, ladies and gentlemen. Family. It's a Netflix storyline encased in treachery and beard oil. Let's now see how all of these began to spiral. According to some insiders, the seeds of this scandal were sown during the Terror Squad documentary's production in 2022. Remy and Joe were observed by several staff members to be spending a lot of time alone in trailers. According to one PA, they even heard groaning coming from behind during a lunch break. "I locked the door, but it was blocked from playing audio. If only they knew, everyone." And then there's the journey to Puerto Rico to shoot a collaborative performance with the group. A Reddit thread that has gone popular claims that Remy and Joe went absent for more than 4 hours during a press run. Their justification? TMZ later shared drone footage of the two jet skiers while they were researching potential places to AT Sunset, alone together. That's what kind of scouting? And despite everything, Papoose remained devoted and continued to post. She allegedly shared pillow conversation with Fat Joe behind the scenes, wrote romantic bars about his queen, held her hand in public, and took anniversary photos, but it was all blown open by Claressa's shields. The champion wasn't merely a spectator, she became involved in it as a result of months spent having faith in Remy as a big sister in the fighting world and a mentor. Claressa's training camp was purportedly being used as a cover by the same sister to slink away and meet Joe at hotels in the area. Let that marinate, indeed. Remy Ma was out here attending a private event instead of fighting practice meals with her business associate. And Claressa began to have suspicions when Remy continued to vanish between rounds, always taking urgent meetings or phone conversations without receipts. And guess who she often observed pulling up to the facility's side entrance? Joe Fat. And it went beyond a simple dip and handshake. Claressa claims that they once parked in Ray's car for 45 minutes, windows up, engine off. What sort of label strategy meeting, therefore, calls for fogged up windows? However, what the motel mix-up was the final straw for Claressa. Because Remy had reserved both rooms, she unintentionally received an email with Remy's hotel room itinerary. Within the event management system of Claressa. A rookie's move. A king suite with 2 guests is reserved for 3 people. The receipts don't lie, ladies and gentlemen. Nights under our Mackie and Joseph C. Additionally, you can be sure that as we proceed into part 2, we're delving further into a huge brand cancellation that might have cost Remy Ma millions, leaked footage, and a stylist spilling tea. Because the betrayal is not just financial but also emotional. Additionally, trust isn't the only thing that's shattered. The hotel receipts are now available. Shields, Claressa has accomplished something that no blogger, photographer, or envious ex could. She revealed the most infamous hip-hop scandal during a boxing match. Return. However, what followed? Oh, sweetheart. The media was in full swing. Explosion. The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, and Gossip Spill vibe all occurred within a day of that email leak. Indeed, wind the article, exclusive Fat Joe and Remy Ma's alleged affair, you were running full features. Claressa Shields was a participant in the messiest love triangle in rap. Papoose, however, was plummeting in silence as the headlines caught fire. No, before a now deleted Instagram story surfaced, there were no tweets, posts, or even his trademark cryptic quotes. 4 words were displayed on a black screen: never try real love. Cools. Let's now discuss reactions, as fans, celebrities, and even those who didn't understand what a papoose is discussing. This is her sneaking around with Fat Joe, but I defended Remy through the easy drama. One user wrote in a tweet, another wrote, Claressa Shields deserves an honorary Pulitzer. No, I'm done. Sis is the only brave person in this disaster. However, the fashion business itself saw the most upheaval that an unidentified insider was able to receive hacked emails that showed Remy Ma was set to start a streetwear collaboration with a big brand. We will not reveal names. Let's assume, however, that they specialize in 3 stripes. Royal Loyalty is the name of the collection. The capsule is the issue. Remy and Papoose were to be the faces of the Black Love Meets Urban Legacy campaign. The locations of the billboards were already planned. They scheduled photo sessions. Then followed that voicemail and the hotel invoice. That was leaked. In less than the brand released an internal memo 48 hours later. Because of the recent media coverage of Mrs. Mackey's personal today, our group has made the decision to put all of our rollout plans on hold. It is impossible to manufacture loyalty.
Oh no.
That final line's darkness. All Remy received after losing a 6-figure deal was an inbox full of memes referring to her as Mrs. 2025 side chick. Fat Joe, who had been eerily silent during this entire ordeal, finally broke. He went to Instagram Live, standing in his backyard, shirtless, holding a bottle of Ace of Spades in one hand and a cigar in the other. He remarked, "Look, dude, I've accomplished a lot in this game, including leaving behind legacies and putting people on. Perhaps I went too far, but sometimes boundaries are hazy." "You're not in a cologne ad, sir," he said with a smile after you've known someone for 20 years. "In a controversy, you are." Place the bottle down. However, what followed that live event was what truly sent the internet into a frenzy, as fewer than 38 few minutes later, a purportedly leaked private audio recording of Fat Joe and Remy shows Joe saying, "I don't care what they say. Pap never liked you as much as I did. I saw you in your raw state. When you were at your weakest, I saw you, and I adored every version." Remy's voice is tremulous and emotive as she says, "I didn't mean to fall for you, Joe." Fans were in disbelief. And the remarks were harsh. "I simply needed something genuine, someone check on you. You have been writing lean back, while lying forward, not terror squad turning into tear squad. You know who checked in on Claressa? She must be watching this like it's a soap opera she wrote by mistake, Nicki Minaj. Claressa? Yes, the high priestess of petty, the queen of, according to a tweet from Subliminals, the woman who conducted a Sayer's funeral. Loyalty cannot be rhymed. No name drop, no tag, but the internet knew. Oh, they knew. Fans immediately began posting hashtag Nicki was right and hashtag Queen's Dante creep in Remy's comments. As for Papoose, well, he shared a new version of that deleted tale here, but this time it was a picture, an old one of him and Remy. Their wedding day. Some people make lifelong commitments, the caption reads. Others pose for pictures. Mike fell. The worst part, though, is that while Fat Joe was on his I Misunderstood tour and Remy was being dragged, this disaster took a completely different turn when fresh receipts were disclosed, and a stylist, let's call her Tasha the tailor, came forth. Includes screenshots from her direct messages. Tasha claims that she dressed Remy for a number of private dinners, industry-only parties, hotel appearances, and off-the-books engagements. Remy Ma, the client, posted a screenshot of her calendar showing that Papoose was never on the list of mixers where Fat Joe was always present. Bring red dress heels to the event Dinner with Jay, which will take place at the Baccarat Hotel at 9:00 p.m. It's a soap opera, and the date was the same night as Papoose's birthday. Claressa had had enough by now, as sis did not hold back when she shared a 3-minute Instagram reel, standing in her gym with her gloves on and her perspiration streaming down her face, staring straight at, "I didn't ask to be in this drama," he remarked, addressing the camera. "All I wanted to do was fight. But I couldn't keep quiet after seeing what I did. I don't give a damn if you're angry. I was honest. You know what you did, Remy. Where were you, Joe? You know. And I'm sorry, Papa." It was heartbreaking, unvarnished, and raw. The comments were completely unfiltered. But affection. Claressa is running for president. Compared to 90% of the rap game, this woman is more authentic. She kept her brother safe. Loyalty is that. This leads us to the present. The scandal has formally entered the realm of law. Papoose's legal team, according to insiders, is doing an internal examination of all shared marital finances, believing that Remy might have transferred funds under the pretense of a consulting fund into a joint LLC with Fat Joe. And if that's accurate, it goes beyond simple treachery, that might be fraud. According to reports, a number of companies are discontinuing sponsorships, postponing appearances, and halting partnerships with all three parties, particularly as the drama in court plays out. Did we also add that there is a supposed security camera video from the hotel suite? Furthermore, one anonymous Reddit leaker claims that no one will return from this if the video is released. No one. Thus, what comes next is the question now. Because Papoose is honing his craft like it's the 2003 combat season, Ray's brand is collapsing, and Fat Joe's credibility is in shambles once more. But don't worry, you haven't heard the last shocking revelation yet. Since we'll be delving into leaked information in Part 3 contracts, an unexpected court decision, and a final voicemail that could definitively prove the affair in a final twist that nobody anticipated. Prepare yourself, the last round is about to start. The dust ought to have settled by now. However, this isn't your typical rap scandal. This is a financial disaster, a love bomb, and a broken loyalty. Moreover, the aftershocks, they have only just begun. Because Papoose was moving in quiet state as followers continued to analyze voice memos, Instagram lives, and deleted tweets entering the courtroom. Court insiders claim that Papoose has requested a full financial audit of all of his and Remy Ma's joint business endeavors. Why? Due to documents that were leaked by a former accountant for a label that has since closed, Fat Joe and Remy Ma own a side business that is registered R&J Creative Enterprises, located in Delaware. Insiders claim that during the previous 18 months, that company received $320,000 in consulting fees months. Funds that did not appear on any of Papoose's joint tax returns. Translation: it's possible that Remy Ma and Fat Joe were hiding a bag behind while managing the affair. Pap's back. The IRS is now investigating. However, things improve immediately following the announcement of after the disguised LLC was dissolved. Fat Joe's management team received a subpoena from the court asking for 2023 hotel receipts, payment records, and email logs. One attorney referred to it as the most heinous combination of romance, money laundering, and marital deceit I've witnessed in 10 years. Remy Ma, meantime, is attempting to maintain her dignity. She has shared 2 extremely filtered Instagram photo dumps with her kids that show family time without captions, or Papoose fans, however, didn't accept the damage control comments. Hold off on posting the children quite yet. Put the receipts in the mail, not Sunday brunch, but the hotel hallway video is what we want. Don't forget your past, but keep your peace. Subsequently, the shocking leak occurred, which caused the internet to collapse. An anonymous Twitter user posted a complete voicemail account linked to Bronx receipts that were purportedly taken just 2 days prior to a fight night. Ray's voice throughout the message is distinct, gentle, and heartfelt, unsteady. I had no desire to harm him. You see me, you feel me, but I adore Pap. Jotted on paper, he has always been flawless, but right now, you are my real. As well as Fat Joe. Smooth, arrogant, and calm. So let's come out of hiding. Following the altercation, we go public. I've got your back. Always possess internet access. Fell apart. Make it public. This was intended to be revealed after the fight. A rollout after a fight. The fans were incensed. The hashtag Justice for Papoose was created by Pap fans. Even the pioneers of hip-hop began to comment. We're all doomed if loyalty isn't sacred anymore, Styles P tweeted on his morning show. DJ Envy stated, this isn't just rumors, it's betrayal. Veiled in business. That's and the brands, they're running like the building's on fire. It's the kind of wound that doesn't heal with an apology. Remy's footwear partnership failed. Point 2 Silent partners invested in Joe's Eatery. Claressa Shields promotion featuring a doubling worldwide sports drink and worth. Yes, because, darling, loyalty sells. Speaking of Claressa, she isn't going to back down. She added a single sentence to her story after the voicemail leak went viral. I assured you that I wasn't lying, not loyalty over notoriety. Mike fell once more. The footage from the security cameras, however, was what ultimately cemented the controversy. Do you recall the hotel room where Remy and Joe were purportedly hiding prior to the altercation? A courageous hotel worker, bless their petty soul, gave several sites a grainy but realistic clip. In the video, Remy can be seen giggling as strolling down the corridor in a silk robe with her hair wrapped. A few seconds later, Fat Joe emerges from the same room with 2 wine glasses and without a shirt. Furthermore, this isn't AI yet, it's not a deep fake. This is true. CCTV is real. The IT was over as soon as it appeared on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. One fan wrote, I've been cheering you guys on for years. It still made me believe in true love exists. It turns out that the last blow was simply better lies and better lighting. Papoose releases a diss song. Yes. At 3 a.m., a surprise freestyle was posted. Dead Weight is the title. Above a melancholic piano loop. Papoose enters. Constructed you starting at the bottom. Remained upright as you fell. But in a hotel, you exchanged loyalty for secrets that he is not your sibling. This is a disguised bruise. The most genuine one. You had just bid farewell. The streets fell silent. Then the responses came flooding in. He embodied them without screaming. This is the most unadulterated form of heartbreak. These hurt, and some bars are the result of pain. The world watched Papoose's ascent as he abruptly changed from a quiet supporter to a wounded fighter. According to reports, Bet even made contact with him to offer him a solo DOA series, tentatively titled Broken Crown, the story of Papoose. Let's discuss future steps now. Now what? A lawsuit is still pending. The LLC of Remy Ma and Fat Joe is being investigated. There are tax lawyers engaged. If money is embezzled or established, criminal charges may follow. There is a lot of conjecture about divorce. Several blogs report Papoose has left their house in New Jersey and migrated to Atlanta. Remy's future is uncertain. Her public relations team is reorganizing, and every interview has been placed on indefinite hold. Fat Joe is going all out. He was seen drinking reality cocktails and having a good time at a party in Miami. Stars, in the post's caption. Let him talk. They criticized Noah until it started to rain. If you don't, boy, find a place to sit. However, this is something no one anticipated. The ultimate betrayal. Due to the fact that Easy the Block Captain, the man who first held accountable for ruining the marriage between Remy and Pap, he said this in a recent TikTok live. I served as a cover for them. It was smoke, the whole Remy thing. They had already begun their task. The misdirection was me. Thus, the entire Remy plus Easy cheating controversy was purportedly a setup. A diversion to hide the true situation. Her protracted relationship with Fat Joe. The Bronx illusion is what fans are now referring to it as. A whole network of dishonesty covered with text leaks and phony meet messages, and fabricated suspects. While the actual betrayal took place in front of everyone. We now want to know if this was the largest breach in allegiance in history of hip-hop? Did Remy Ma truly lose interest in a guy who supported her during her time in prison, her financial hardships, and public scrutiny in favor of a studio mentor with a whisper and a cigar? Was Fat Joe's entire legacy tarnished because he crossed a holy boundary? What about Shields, Claressa? Did she jeopardize her reputation to keep a friend safe? Or did she just happen to become the most respected whistleblower? The majority of what would you have done, most importantly, if you caught your friend's spouse snooping around? Would you speak up if you were around? If Yuri, would you fight if your brother had betrayed you for the truth, or simply turn away? There are levels to this narrative. Treachery, business, grief, and perhaps even redemption. However, one thing is evident.